In January of 2020, the SCHS Theater Company began preparing for their production of Peter and the Starcatcher. In March, SCHS was shut down due to COVID-19, and by the summer, the production was canceled. Now we're back to talk about our experience, and we have a special announcement at the end of the video.
My name is Chesney Ball and I played Prentice.
I'm Alec Toombs. I was going to play Hawking Clam.
My name is T.C. Sullivan and I played Black Stash.
Ashley Lenz and I played Alf.
My name is Maya Thorbergson. I played Teacher.
My name is Trevor. I play Fighting Prawn.
I'm Andrew and I played Peter.
I am Breon Guthrie and I played Captain Bill Slank.
My favorite scene was probably when we were running from the mollusks because it was so chaotic and fun to do, putting down the leaves.
I like the boxing scene. Okay, I know I'm technically ensemble in that scene, but it's just awesome. You know, we're rooting for the good guy.
I personally really liked the mermaid scene.
Yeah.
Because I had never been in a singing role area and it was just new. It was something different. It was something interesting. I mean, yes, there was flaws and there was different things that had hiccups in it, but that's with all plays.
I really liked one of my first scenes where I walked in and talked to Miss Bumbrake because it was pretty funny.
I'm not in my favorite scene. My favorite scene is like when they're chanting the Italian food name.
Yeah.
That's my favorite scene.
I don't know why it's my favorite. It's just my favorite because me and my son Hawking Clam get to be absolute babies. We run on stage and we complain about the dirty, filthy, rotten, stinking English, and we get to stomp and throw our arms around. It's really fun.
I'd say it was probably the last scene where Molly's leaving the island and the whole message about it was growing up and not wanting to stay young, but you have to grow up eventually. It's just a good message, I thought, and it was fun trying to get picked up at the end.
Honestly, I think my favorite scene was when I died.
My favorite part of the rehearsal process was probably the musicals part, doing the music, because it was also, I don't know, it was so fun, because we never got to do that last year, or in the years prior, so it was fun to do it for the first time.
When we had to go off book, I thought that was interesting to see. That was something.
Yeah, what were the off-book rehearsals like?
Nobody was off book.
Accurate.
So it was rehearsal.
Yeah.
Off book was. Who was she? Off book.
Building the stage was a big thing. And
Yeah, and you were in the carpentry class that built this too, right?
yeah,
Sweet.
helped build it and stain it and sand it.
I liked all our mess ups because then we laughed about it and then tried to do it better. And then if we messed that up, we laughed about that and then tried over again. You could see us changing from our characters to ourselves, and sometimes you couldn't tell if it was our character or ourselves because we were so close to the character.
Well, it was very easygoing and it wasn't stressful.
Just being on stage with my friends, and just getting to laugh whenever we think something is stupid, and then, being serious whenever we need to be. I just think that hanging out with them is pretty fun.
Definitely trying to sword fight TC because it never came out right. It was always very janky and such. But another one too was getting dropped on my head, falling from a height down to the golden water.
I think the blocking overall was my favorite part. Rehearsals.
Closure really was sad. I think we could all see it coming, but we tried really hard to still get the play to happen, but then we couldn't. So it was kind of sad that I didn't get to do it, and especially since my sister wasn't here with me. I wanted her to kind of experience that with me because she's a senior this year, so we couldn't do that together, so it was really sad.
Well, let's just start with my reaction when I found out school was closed. I was at work, and then one of the girls at work there was like, hey, did you hear school closed for 2 weeks? Well, our show was supposed to be 2 weeks from that day. I literally threw the clothes down. I was like, we ain't closed. We having the show. Well, that didn't happen. And we remained hopeful for a while that we were going to have the show. And that didn't really work out. And we're still really sad about that. I also think we can all learn from this experience.
It hit me hard.
Yeah.
Because this is This was a part I've been so hoping for. Like this is, like this character shows me. It was hard, really hard. It's still, just being in the theater, it hits me.
I was really sad about it because theater was my family, and closing meant that I couldn't see the people that I enjoyed spending my time with. And theater's been an outlet for me for everything in my life, and the fact that I couldn't go back to it and do the play. Because whenever we do the play, it was always bittersweet because we ended our play and we got to perform it, and all our hard work went into something. I think the hardest thing about the whole thing is I just felt like we didn't get closure.
Well, I feel like it was really disappointing because we were so close to the premiere. And we all saw it coming towards the end, but it was still disappointing.
I was pretty, when I first started, it was 2 weeks. I was kind of grateful because we needed those 2 weeks to really get ready for the show, but then it came longer, and once it kept getting extended is when you realize that it's not gonna happen. But it was a great experience overall still, and like I said, it's still my favorite show that I've ever been in.
It's wild how something can go from it's not gonna happen for a few weeks to it's just not gonna happen.
All right, so hello. This is Hannah Kendrick, our costume designer for Peter and the Starcatcher. And you are a junior now, correct?
I'm a junior now, yes.
Yeah, she was a sophomore during the run of the show before we unfortunately got shut down. But she's going to show you some of her costume work, so go for it.
Yay! Alright, so, I know some of the stuff is not all here because everything got kind of moved around everywhere. This is just whatever. But this is Chesney's. She played Princess in the show. This was her hat. If I can grab it, please, and thank you. There was a lot of change, a lot of moving around. But a lot of it was recycled from stuff we had previous years. So we have this. This was her hat.
How'd you end up picking this for Chesney?
So lots of renderings, looking at the person and being like, if I were this person, what would I wear and when? I also use a lot of timeline era kind of thing. My favorite piece.
Oh.
Which was probably the
Oh, yes.
was a Smee.
Yes. The hiding the Smee costume.
Smee costume. Button up, the vest, a beanie, and then
Wonderful.
that. So.
Awesome.
What else?
Do you want to show Margaret's?
Well, those are before it was finished. I think she was the one I kind of tried to work on the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, hers is not even.
That's okay. So this is from a spun break.
My goal was to make a headband with a little flower pot on it and stick her favorite flowers in it.
Yes.
And that was gonna be her hat for the show, but here's an apron.
Our Molly Astor, our Starcatcher. We have her dress in here.
Woo. It's also falling.
Oh.
So, funny story. So when getting the outfits, a lot of them were either bought, recycled, or in the process of being custom made. So again, this is the other apron. I didn't cut off the top for this one.
I love it.
Didn't feel like it was necessary. Bought this at Ross. So I was in the process at the time, so it's still horrible.
It's great.
But
I love the fabric.
it was supposed to just kind of go across your head like this, and then just kind of hang like a shirt. But I had it hung on a, you can see the rope, but I had it hung on a...
The mannequin?
Yeah, mannequin. Just working on it, and then the day we got shut down. So,
yeah.
But here's all of the fans are these. They are just paper mache fans I got at Party City that we painted and put Mod Podge on.
Yeah.
And it came out like this.
Oh, beautiful.
And you can kind of still see a little bit of the design.
Oh, yeah. Cool. It textures
just a little
it.
bit, but yeah.
Sweet.
And this is the tail. I had some trouble trying to figure out what I wanted to do for it, just because.
Oh, I love it.
I've never worked with mermaid tails before.
Yeah.
So we just decided we'd throw it around their waist, pin it in the back, and then that way it kind of gave them still some movement at the bottom. I know she was not in Mermaid Out of Me, but the plan for Mermaid Out of Me was pin it, and then as they were doing stuff like this, they could still do it, and they would wear black leggings and black shirts. So.
Awesome. All right, so now we've got a few of the guys in their costumes. Let's see if we can find them.
So, this is TC. So, he plays Black Sash in the show. So what we kind of did for his is I kind of pulled him aside every so often and be like, hey, what do you want to do for your costume? Is there anything specific you want to wear? Anything specific you want to like throw on with it? We had a pirate hat offered to us and donated to us for a little while. I made these hands again. I'm going to show this off.
Yay!
And then the hook we just had lying around here somewhere. Shoes brought in, pants brought in, vest brought in. The shirt we just had in the dressing room. Again, we just recycled everything.
Awesome.
So, yay, we had a mustache, but we couldn't find it.
I know, rip the mustache for Black Stash.
Whenever he would come on for scenes, I'd always like giggle in the corner because I was like, oh, he looks so funny.
Go for it.
Alright. Hi. So this is Alec. He played Hawking Clam? Okay, Hawking Clam. Gotta remember these names.
You're good.
So, funny story about the coconut bra. I asked him if he wanted any funny renditions. He said coconut bra and hula skirt, so I went with that. Just because they're also like a native tribe during the show, so I went with that. The button-up shirt I picked up at Goodwill, and there were holes, so I just kind of sewed those together. That's not his prop, but this is.
It's too heavy.
Too heavy, but this is this, and we were just gonna have him run around stage with this.
Yeah.
So
So, explain the character a little bit so that this makes sense.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm the son of the king he runs this island, right? So he's like this big, like, he's kind of stupid, but he's also he knows what he's doing. I'm just a stupid son. I'm just kind of there. I'm just kind of like, here. I just hand him everything.
So your characters, they're their own like native tribe on this island, but they also, for some reason, are Italian chefs. Hence the combination of the island getup and the Italian chef getup.
So, this is Andrew. He played Peter in the show. So the shirt, again, we just recycled everything, and kind of everything threw together.
Oh, so talk about the difference between like what you did for Peter versus like the Disney version and how you decided to change.
So, using a lot of like the reference stuff that I had in one of the renderings, I also kind of used the original show that they did too as kind of a costume reference. For the Disney version, the hat, the green, everything flying. I didn't really see like green being important to the show, but at the same time, again, because with all the lights and the lighting and everything. So we tried to find what we could, and we were gonna do like a really light green or like a tan. Didn't like it, so we found this shirt and he put it on. He was like, works. So we were just kind of threw the suspenders with him and tucked it in. That's that.
Y'all are so awkward. Okay. So what we're gonna talk about? Obviously, last semester did not end as we planned. So talk about what we've been doing this semester.
We learned about theater history.
Yes.
Yes.
We did some vaudeville stuff. It was fun.
Learned about some sweet writers like Tennessee Williams and all that cool stuff. That's pretty rad.
Family Guy Among Us.
Family Guy Among Us.
We did senior scenes.
Now go ahead and talk about what we are currently working on. You guys get to announce it.
Nothing.
Shut up.
2, 1.
It is comprised of many scenes that we have put together as a class to make one like full-length show.
Yes.
And it's Christmas themed.
Show is being written, directed, casted, all this stuff by the students themselves. Everyone is making their own stuff. We're going to start filming the show in early December, and we're not exactly sure when we're going to put it out, but the release date will be announced on the theater's Instagram page. You can follow it at SCHS Theater Co.